The U.S. representative makes a stop on the High Plains. What you can expect from Beto O'Rourke's campaign coming up. Plus, Bell Helicopter has unveiled a new aircraft. Details on how the V-280 Valor can help our military in just a moment.
And we have yet another cool start to the day. We'll let you know how hot the afternoon will be coming up.
Live from your local news leader, KAMR Local 4's Today in Amarillo in high definition starts now.
Good Wednesday morning. It's August 1st. I'm Angelina Perez. Thanks for waking up to Today in Amarillo. We'll have more on those stories coming up in just a bit. But first, let's look at your weather with meteorologist Chris Martin. Chris, I can't believe it's already August.
It is August, and it kind of feels a little bit like we're going towards fall. Temperatures outside back down to the 50s and the 60s. A fantastic morning for some hot coffee. Let's take a look at those temperatures at the airport. We're down to 63 degrees, actually cooler here in downtown at 61. On the warmer side at Soncy and I-40 at 68 degrees. The day ahead is looking pretty nice, but average for this time of the year will top out at 91 later on in the day. That is average here in town for August 1, and winds will be coming back from the southwest to 10 to 15 miles per hour. We also have the possibility of storms returning to the area, and we'll go into more detail on that in just a few minutes. Right now, I'll send it back over to Angelina.
Thank you, Chris. One person is dead after a wreck in Pampa that happened yesterday morning on the 1200 block of North Price Road. Police say that's where a semi and another vehicle hit head-on. The driver of the vehicle, 52-year-old Miguel Diaz of Nebraska, was transported to the hospital where he later died. The driver of the semi was uninjured. Pampa police are still investigating. A man is injured in a shooting at a Tucumcari motel. Tucumcari police say it happened at a motel on West Route 66 early yesterday morning. Police tell us one man suffered a non-life-threatening injury, and they are currently looking for two suspects for questioning. If you have any information, contact Tucumcari Police or the Quay County Sheriff's Office. As Representative Beto O'Rourke continues his campaign for the U.S. Senate, he made a stop in Amarillo for a rally at Six Car Pub and Brewery. We are your local election headquarters. The Beers with Beto fundraiser Tuesday evening marks his 5th event in Amarillo since April of 2017. He has outraised the Republican incumbent, Senator Ted Cruz, by nearly $6 million in the second quarter, he says, without accepting PAC money. We spoke with Representative O'Rourke about his platform regarding immigration and family separation at the border, and he says family reunification is a primary goal.
They don't know when or if they're ever going to see their parents again. We've got to make that a priority in this country and reunite those families. I know we can do it, and it's going to take all of us pushing on this administration, reminding our representatives in Congress that this is a priority. If we do that, I'm convinced we can get those kids back with their parents.
Representative O'Rourke will now continue on to Pampa, Childress, and Wichita Falls. You can catch our full exclusive interview with Representative O'Rourke on Politics Today. That is Sunday morning at 10 following Meet the Press. For related headlines, head over to myhighplains.com. It's been testing its limits for 7 months, and yesterday it took on new heights. Bell Helicopter invited city leaders and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick to show off the V-280 Valor. This demo was used to showcase some of the agility of the new aircraft and how it can be used for different purposes. Officials say the V-280 Valor can carry 14 troops, unlike the V-222, which can carry 24.
In a nutshell, it's a lot of fun. The V-280 is just a lot of fun to fly, very responsive, very agile, and we've spent a lot of years preparing for this, been flying it for the last 7 months, and I could go on and on about all the good qualities of it.
2 months ago, the V-280 Valor reached a milestone by taking its first ever cruise mode flight. Last December, the V-280 took its first flight. Nearly 24 vehicles are damaged after a parking garage collapses in Irving. The collapse happened around 11:30 yesterday morning. The Irving Fire Department confirmed there were 21 vehicles involved, but any details on the damage is unknown at this time. Rescue crews say their primary search for victims is clear, but they are double checking with the corresponding office building to make sure everyone is accounted for. Officials will soon determine the structural integrity of the parking garage and when people can retrieve their vehicles. A federal judge in the state of Washington issued a restraining order blocking the U.S. government from allowing the distribution of 3D printable guns. The untraceable ghost guns are made by a Texas company called Defense Distributed. Last month, the company reached a settlement with the Trump administration and was about to post the schematics for weapons online. But attorneys general from 8 states filed a lawsuit to keep that from happening. The Washington State Attorney General's office didn't go after the gun maker, but instead went after the Trump administration. Bob Ferguson argued that the U.S. government violated procedure because it didn't notify Congress or the Justice Department of the settlement. Judge Robert Lasnik agreed in the 11th hour.
The federal government continues to effectuate executive orders and decisions in a way that is sloppy, that is ham-handed, that lacks thought, that lacks rigor. President Trump is completely able to inform his Department of Justice to stand down this litigation, to agree with our briefing, and to say it is unlawful for anyone to make this information available for anyone.
Ferguson will be back in federal court on August 10th to ask for preliminary injunction to make the temporary restraining order more permanent until Judge Lasnik can decide on the case. It's now 5:36, so it's time to take a look at your weather. Chris, what can we expect for the first day of August?
Well, we're starting off quite cool outside. Temperatures down to the 50s and the 60s. Is that cool enough? I think for a few folks might actually need a light jacket as you head out and about. Otherwise, a pretty pleasant start. Most of us that have been kind of tired of the hot weather, this morning is for you. Afternoon time, we're looking at hotter conditions. Temperatures on the way up. We have a high pressure system centered over Arizona, low pressure system back towards the Mississippi River Valley, and of course the frontal boundary associated with that continues off towards the Gulf Coast at the moment, with showers and storms heading over towards the Florida Panhandle, while we have this high pressure system here at the surface, and that's keeping us on the cooler side. This relatively cooler air behind the frontal boundary, if you will. It's well down to the south, and the winds are going to start turning back in from the south and southwest later on today and allow those temperatures to come up just a few degrees from what we had yesterday afternoon. We were out at 64 degrees in Pampa, 62 in Canadian, already down below the 60-degree mark in Dumas, 59 right now, 60 even in Guyman, Boise City at about 58, 57 in Clayton, are a little bit on the warmer side in Tucumcari currently at 68 degrees. Let's take it over to our ag forecast. This morning's humidity not too great. The drier conditions allowing for that slightly cooler atmosphere out there. 75% humidity is all that we're going to get up to for this morning time. It does bottom out at 29% later on in the day, and the soil temperatures are in the lower to mid 70s from 2 inches to 6 inches down. Pan evaporation coming up now to 44/100ths of an inch. That's how much water would evaporate in a standard pan. Afternoon time, plenty of sunshine, a few clouds here and there. We'll see the possibility of rain coming back in to our western counties later on this evening. Before then, we'll heat up to a high of 89 degrees in Pampa, the same in Canadian, 92 for Borger, the same in Childress, 90 even in Hereford, and 95 in Tucumcari, close at 89 for the afternoon. And then a few disturbances come in once more from the north and west and tries to bring us a few showers and storms in the overnight hours, most of that clearing out by Thursday morning. And we'll see temperatures on the way up slowly over the next several days. A big warming trend on the way, if you will, but not too hot, not too fast. We won't see 100s yet until at the very least, say, Friday afternoon. On Friday, we'll top out at 95 here in town. We get more of a breezy wind from the southwest on Friday into the weekend. A few more thunderstorms possible on Friday night. Those continue on into Saturday, and yet again, we'll have a chance for rain on Monday, and we'll see the possibility of any of these storms with gusty winds and heavy downpours will be in the mid-90s for Monday afternoon. You can track that 7-day forecast always at myhighplains.com. We're currently at about 59 degrees outside, and we'll send it back to Angelina.
Thank you, Chris. It's now 5:38 and still ahead. We're getting closer to fall, but the effects of major heat waves continue. Why heat-related deaths are on the rise ahead. Plus, those who work in the service industry could be at a higher risk for mental health problems. The issues you'll need to watch out for when we come back.